Okay. He will perk up at that with um, alarm, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he will, after, like I said, after the story, he will say, that he thinks it's rather dire, and he will, in turn, impart what information he knows. He says, "This is what we do know that you may not in your travels." And he looks directly at Cole. "I will be the first to admit that I have no great love for your kind, but neither do I have any wish to see them exterminated. Unfortunately, that is what my scouts are reporting. The Lich King presses your people hard, and I do not know if they can stand forever. Your horde's numbers outmatch any army in the realm. But with every orc that is slain, the Lich King's army grows." And then he looks back to the rest of you. "I would be the first to don my armor and my hammer and charge off with you to sally forth to end this threat. But my people are in as much danger as everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And before I can leave my kingdom, we must settle what has happened here. You mentioned the volcano. You are right, but you do not know the whole story of it. Some time ago, we were approached by a priest.
Oh, fuck.
This priest talked to my healers, saying that he could provide assistance for them. He offered his services cheaply, and dwarves are sometimes easily misled by bargains. We caught him about a month and a half ago, down in the mines, where the river of lavas flow from Mount Siren, performing some black ritual. And ever since then, the mountain has been angry, getting worse every day until I fear it will erupt and overrun my people. The priest fled. I believe he is somewhere in the capital now, but I do not know where. I do not know how to stop this threat. We have been to the volcano. There is nothing there. The mountain itself is angry, but my clerics can find no cause. My gods have been working non-stop to find this priest. If you are to aid, I ask your help in that. Find this priest. Learn what he did and save my people. And you will have my army."
Do you know what that priest went by? His name?
He pauses. "I'm sorry, I honestly do not know. But I know what he wore.
What did he wear?
What I was told, he's clothed in simple brown clothing with a wide-brimmed hat."
Mother.
Oh yeah, I the second he said priest, I knew it was.
I know, I wanted to confirm.
Yeah, good call.
That son of a bitch won't stay dead. Oh. Oh. That makes a lot more sense.
What?
His nickname is the Game Master. His real name, if I can find my actual sticky note,
Seller.
no, is Gav, isn't it?
No.
No.
Gav is one of the other demon lieutenants.
Yeah.
Gav,
But-
yeah.
How is he? He died.
No,
How the
he didn't. He clearly didn't. Which means Sky is still compromised. Oh, so Pearson can assume.
Yeah.
It makes him angry that they heard about Cellar again, but he is now like righteously justified in how he's treating Sky. How everyone's making him feel guilty. Not you guys, but the other people. Anyways.
All
Okay.
right.
So do we agree to this? I say we agree to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The king will stand up and he will come down to you. And Dwalin, you know this doesn't happen. The king's up there for a reason. He doesn't come down on the same level as others. He comes down to your level and he says, "From Dwalin's introduction and your tales, you are great champions, and I have need of great champions. My gods have been utterly unsuccessful when it comes to hunting down this priest. We believe that he is within the city, for my clerics tell me that if he has performed some dark ritual of this magnitude, he most likely would have to stay close. But where, I do not know. Obviously, dwarven minds have been unable to find him. Perhaps your ways of thinking might have a better chance of rooting him out. I will provide you whatever assistance I can."
Thank you.
And with that,
All right.
he will march back up to the throne, and then he will turn around and he will say, "You, of course, are welcome to stay here at the palace. If that does not accommodate you, the throne will furnish your lodgings at any tavern you choose." And by the way, Dwalin, you've also never heard of this before either, and you used to be his bodyguard. Dwarves don't furnish funds for things.
These are dark times indeed.
Yeah.
No. Oh, guys, I gotta talk to you. Okay, just sorry. We gotta keep going. Just sorry. Shut up,
If you
I'm
want to
sorry.
have an out of character moment, you absolutely can. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Or if
No,
you
let's
if
wait
you want
till
an
we
in
rest.
character, sure.
I'll
All right.
wait till we're rest.
And he will sit down, and Ball's kind of in your court.
Okay. Yeah, I want to wait for us to get together and speak about this. So, do you think it's best that we excuse ourselves? We know what our goals are. We go regroup. We figure out how to our first steps to find this guy.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
resting in the palace will be all right because palace. Why not?
Okay. Sure.
Would that be available?
He said it
Yeah.
would be.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have the choice of resting in the palace or any tavern of your choice.
Okay.
Well, with that, I assume you guys accept the offer. He will say,
Mhm.
"Of course, my attendants will see to you. During the day, if you need to speak of me, simply let the guards know, and they will usher you to me as quickly as possible. If you are free tomorrow evening, I would like to invite you to a banquet in your honor."
Thank you.
I know. Now I'm thinking like a banquet when we haven't done anything yet. These are dark times.
Well, that one actually is a little more common. Dwarves do like to throw banquets for important people because they think it generally lowers their guards. So that one is a little bit more on ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more of a hospitality thing than anything else.
This is a trick. my
Mm.
my own
Wait,
culture is
wait.
trying to hoodwink me.
There you go. All right.
So you guys are, unless you have anything else you want to say, you can be ushered out, or you can see yourselves out. There's not going to be someone like, "Go, well, go," you know.
Get out of here.
Uh-huh.
You will all notice one thing, though, as
Uh-huh.
you are leaving the throne room. Guy and Fergal are nowhere to be seen.
Nowhere in the palace or nowhere in the throne room?
Nowhere in the throne room. They were with
Yeah.
you guys when you were waiting. They are not with you now.
Okay.
Okay, with them gone, Pearson's going to insist we don't stay within this palace. Not whatsoever. Trust me, it's a hunch.
If you guys want me, I can like move you back to the is this going to take place in the throne room, outside the throne room?
Outside the throne
Alright.
room, I imagine.
Then we'll yeah.
Where the hell are they? Need to find
Doesn't
them.
matter.
Is there a-
Drolin admittedly was not giving much of a damn about like a gnome and a goblin, so like he completely justified in not paying attention to these people. Like maybe he didn't think they were permitted to see the king. Like whatever, they were not important.
Is there a like a guard or not a guard, like a servant around?
Yes. Yes.
Finn would go up, approach it and be like, "Hi, excuse me, have you seen a little gnome and a goblin around here?"
The guard would shake his head and politely say, "I'm sorry, ma'am. No, I have not seen any such creatures like that."
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. We need to leave, Pearson
Yeah.
says.
We'll leave.
Okay. And as we walk, Pearson will explain. Back in Whitebridge, before it was brought down to ash, back in the day, there was a fellow named, well, never mind. I'm trying to come up with a name off the top of my head, and I came up with 3 chains. I'm like, no, Inferno, that's a rapper. Actually, that's 2 chains. So, no.
His street name was 3 Chains because he.
Shit. Okay. All right. Come on, Inferno. You're a storyteller. You can do this. All right. There once was a man named the Banker who himself never actually did any banking unless it was more of the illegal kind. He was meticulous. He was very, very good at finding and keeping money. And he had a very strong compound in which he dealt all business from. His business was only dealt with his friends. Of course, it meant there was many things of his that they wanted stolen. There were many of his that people coveted. But most of the time, if people stole from him, the goods were recovered and they ended up dead. Well, one resourceful thief named Sylvester decided to steal one of the most coveted things the banker had, which was a gold ring upon his pinky. It had sentimental value. Of course, Sylvester, once he managed to get his hands on the ring, needed a place to hide it. He could have chosen anywhere in Whitebridge, but he chose to hide the ring on the banker's property itself. He dug a small hole in his garden and buried it there, and let it there lay for 4 years, patient as can be. The banker's men, the banker's goons, all of his resources tore the entire city, metaphorically, from under itself, trying to find this ring, when truly it was buried underneath their nose the entire time. I have a feeling Cellar, the reason why the guards can't find him is because he's not in the streets. I think he's in that throne room, or very close to that palace. I think we are going to be delayed until that volcano blows. And I think the headaches that both Keen and Fergal had, and the disappearance of both Fergal and Guy, are stack things up far too much.
Just as something that if I don't do this, I will probably hate myself. I'm going to check the ring. I know it says something along the lines of the closest, like, gnome group or something like that, but since there's probably not too many gnomes here, I'm assuming that might be...
No, it directs you to the closest gnome clan, not an individual gnome. So
Okay.
you would be able to feel where the closest clan is. So
Okay. Hey, is there any clans nearby?
hang on. Roll me a d100.
Okay.
You sense one down to the east, about 100 miles or so. And as you guys are walking, of course, you can either rely on Drawlin's expertise or ask. There are several taverns you can choose from. Um, and before you left the palace, you would have been given a writ that very specifically states that room and boarding only are being furnished by the throne for this party of 5 only. And it actually, though you're not sure exactly when they had time to describe this, has a brief description of each of you.
Should we try?
And Drawlin, this is pretty standard fare. They don't like paying money for. They don't leave wiggle room.
Should we try
Okay.
finding Fergal and Yi?
I don't understand your concern. Your little companions have disappeared. Should we not go back into the palace and attempt to find them?
Yeah, why are we not finding them? Finn is kind of in that same boat.
Because if I'm right, then the palace is a trap.
Yeah,
And
but they're helping
they would.
us.
Do you have choice? Isn't the palace the best place to stay then?
No, I'm saying either one of two things happened. Guy and Fergal fled, or Guy and Fergal were kidnapped. If they were kidnapped, they're probably held in the palace, which means they expect us to go looking for them, which means we'd be walking right into a trap. They know we're not stupid, right? They know that we'd be looking for them. Yes?
Yeah, but I don't know. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
It's fine. I'm just saying we'll walk into a snake's nest. If you want to, if
It
you
wouldn't
think
be the
that's the only way
first time we've done that.
Yeah. Problem is, you walk into one long enough, and eventually you do get bit.
That's why we
My-
signed.
My great concern comes with how we're going to end up finding this individual if you say that he is disguised from within, or even if he is without. John looks to his left, looks to his right. Anglia is quite the place.
Yep.
There's one mistake. We know Seller. He's not a new mysterious individual anymore. We know exactly what he's like, and we know exactly, or have a very good idea, what he can do. He's a shapeshifter in a sense that he can take the guise of a priest, but we've seen one of his forms, and it wouldn't surprise me if he metamorphosizes himself into something else. 2, he loves manipulating others. He did it to us, and he did it to countless other people. And it wouldn't surprise me if he's doing it again to your king. In fact, the reason why things have gotten in this situation is that he has manipulated the clergy into allowing him into your foundries. So if he enjoys manipulation, he'll be in a place where he can expend that power. He could be
Here's-
manipulating us right now.
He could be Pearson, but we don't have any proof on that. We don't know.
Cole, do you have any inputs?
Yes, I have a sneaking suspicion of my own. I do not think it is Seller. I think a lot of these things are ruses, traps. Yes, a distraction, but probably more than just. I don't think Seller would be going around in his old disguise. I think, what were the other... I'm assuming it's one of the demon leaders. I just cannot think of which one it is.
Dementia, the one who's supposed to be surrounding the... Oh, wait.
She's very powerful.
Okay,
Very good at
Squee,
illusion
I'm going to
magic.
do something insane. Is that okay if I do something insane for a moment?
Yes, and then I have
Okay.
something for you. So
Okay. I'm going to try to disbelieve this situation. I'm going to try to think that none of this is real and I need to wake up.
okay. Roll me.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, you know what? No.
Okay.
Because what I had for you kind of plays into this. So Pearson,
Okay.
for you know what? Actually, go ahead and roll. Yes.
Okay.
Because I need you to roll. Roll
What
me
should I roll?
do an intelligence level, and
Mhm.
honestly, just intelligence and level. This is what you're trying to do
Okay.
is not something you've ever.
Yeah, I'm...
Aw.
Nope.
Oh, where's my fate point now? I wasted it on a stupid rider.
All right. So everyone but Pearson.
Yes.
For a split second, there is a tingle in your minds, and you believe you see for just a second Fergal running towards you down the street, saying, "Lies!" And then nothing. And everything is, well, not quiet again, because there are dwarves that are around you, but, you don't see a Fergal, you don't feel a tingle, you don't feel anything.
Did anyone else
Fantastic.
just see Fergal for a second?
Yes.
Drollin's hands clench.
I
What?
did.
What does that mean?
I have an idea. I can't believe I'm about to say this. May the gods protect me if I am wrong. Alright, so that happened. I don't know what it was. Not familiar with it. But I am going to force the situation. We're going to go back into the palace. We're going to ask to see the king again because we thought of something new. And I'm going to try to kill him.
Whoa.
Come again?
Whoa. Whoa.
What?
Pearson nods. Yes. He's
Pearson!
kind of paranoid right now. He goes, no. It will, don't you see? It will force their hand. You guys said you see things, but I don't even know if I can see what I see you is real now. Don't you
Okay.
understand?
You're scaring me. Let's go and get this over with then.
Jesus fucking Christ. If
Father, I am sorry. I am so sorry, Father.
Jesus.
Finn would place
If
a
we
hand
are
on
wrong-
Drollin's shoulder.
If we are wrong,
Look,
Then we
I
lose
know.
an ally.
Look, we have more problems than that. We
Yeah.
have a lot of fucking problems.
okay. Okay. Let's fucking do this.
born over 110 years ago, served this kingdom in the Vork Wars.
We're being manipulated. We're being tricked.
Bodyguard for the legendary king himself and his family.
All right.
You let us keep our weapons the first time. Oh boy.
So DM, we're going back to the castle.
Yes, it seems you are.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right then. I'll just you know what? I'll skip all the pleasantries.
You murdered the king.
So I'm gonna say I'm assuming, like you said, you are forceful. I need to see the king now, etc., etc. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
There was something that I forgot to say. I need to speak to him right now. It is of utmost urgency.
Okay. They will say this is very improper at this time, and then one of them will say, "We have orders." Of course, my apologies, masters. I will go inform the king of your arrival, and
Jesus fucking Christ! If this is wrong.
I
Can we play?
Out of character,
go.
out of character, I can't fucking believe that after 20 years of doing tabletops, I'm at the situation where I'm going, let's try it.
You know what you did.
Not only that, I fucking suggest.
Let's take on an epic level.
No,
so
no,
dumb.
it's okay. It's an
Alright.
illusion. It's
You
not
guys-
real.
you're gonna have to give me
Seller.
a minute while I go grab a drink and figure out exactly what I'm going to do about this.
You should've
Because
just
because
Yep, right. All right, everyone, let's take a power-up break for a few minutes. Inferno's
Okay.
gotta, you know.
I need a drink
I got
too.
another story for you. Once upon a time, there was a guy named Three Chains.
he killed the king.
I gotta get a fucking drink. I'm fucking
Me too.
My hands are actually shaking out of the nervousness.
Oh
Do
my god.
this.
Grim, now you know how I felt when I was supposed to do that speech, man. Come on.
Same equivalence. Same equivalence.
I don't think your words would have killed the king, even
Yeah,
if you
I'll be
called
right
him a fuckface.
Hey, either way, we could have potentially lost an ally. If I said the wrong shit.
Well, it's either the end of the campaign,
Or the end of the
a
campaign.
spectacular chapter, in the
and then the end of the
section.
campaign. Oh,
Oh,
shit.
Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be back.
Okay, no wait. Yeah, you know, I got play Pearson off as paranoid now. Cause he's not even seeing what you guys are seeing anymore.
Could you give me a reminder who's what?
What do you mean? I'm a human.
All right, no, the leaders.
Demons? Oh yeah, sure. While we're breaking. Shelta dead. Gav, he's the one who's famous for being killed and coming back.
Mhm.
Fabrizio is the one who's no more than 10 years old. He uses that to his advantage. He's mind reader, sadistic, with a scar on his left cheek.
Mhm.
Dementia. Wait, wasn't someone described as with the scar on their left cheek? Oh yeah, the halfling. Gotcha. Anyways, Dementia, disguised as a beautiful elf, strong charm and illusion magic, might be Azael's second in command. Nye, self-proclaimed experimentalist, man I want to choke. And then the twins, Fee and Phi, both male and female. Seller's children, always together, probably boning. That's what I got.
Ooh.
Yep. So, there's that.
So there's there's the illusionist and the
Oh my god. The illusionist, the child,
yeah.
twins, and the man who can't be killed. Those are the four we haven't interacted with yet.
Okay.
All right, I am back.
Welcome back. You have so. Welcome to Springfield 911. If you know the crime that is being committed, press 1. Boop, boop, boop. You have selected regicide. If you know the king or queen who is being murdered, press 1.
Oh my god. Oh, this is insane.
love it so much.
This
Okay.
is so
Are you guys
crazy.
ready to shit your pants?
No.
No.
I don't want to.
I'm ready to roll up another character. I'm
Yep.
so ready.
Oh, did you see the newest Rifty Fell?
No.
What is going on?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. We're attacked.
We're here to assassinate someone.
I've heard.
We're assassins. We're hired to.
Oh, where is that?
We're
I
assassins.
just saw Rifty fell.
Yeah, what is going on?
Okay, so yeah, not that I had to figure out exactly what was going to happen. I have enough set up that I know exactly what's going to happen. Just had to figure out how everyone's going to respond. So okay,
Gonna stab us.
this is important.
Jarek's
So you
not
guys
back yet.
get into the throne room.
Grimmett isn't back yet.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, Grimmett isn't back yet.
Like I'm not. Luckily, I don't have to, nor would I want to change anything. I just, of all the left field ideas,
Question.
huh?
For Inferno,
Oh yeah, what up?
did you say
Uh-huh.
that you tried to disbelieve everything?
I can't believe this shit after all the stupid fucking ideas I've heard players come over in the 20 plus years. I have to explain this to myself out of character. I've been a DM, a GM for a very long time. And when it comes to character death, it depends on the system, but this is something so egregiously stupid that it warrants total party death.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is. It
does.
is true.
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
true.
essentially.
We are doing this on a whim and a chance of like these demons are so overpowering, particularly with their mental enchantments. We have no lead that we can possibly think of in this unfamiliar city. Let's destabilize the situation completely. If we get thrown in prison or whatever the situation, maybe we can try to work ourselves out of it, even if we're set up for execution, because it could make the storytelling interesting. The only way this could even work is because of the fact that we were trusted so well that they allowed our weapons into this throne room. As I certainly am not going to kill the king with my fist. Pearson can.
No, they certainly let your weapons, and you are the trusted champions of Lady Celine.
Jesus,
Yeah.
this is.
I
Christ.
take it as a badge of honor that I have forced Grim after 20 odd years to
I mean,
to go crazy.
I've made a lot of questionable decisions as player, but this is definitely a situation in which I'm invested, even though this is a temporary character, because this carries the weight of the entire campaign behind it. That being said, I am still willing to do this, but I just wanted to present the situation again, so that for posterity, on our characters' epitaphs, when the end of the campaign is written and the world is destroyed, we know what we tried and we saw the logic behind it, even though it's pretty fucking nutty.
And and I will, and we know each other, all of us, well enough by now to know this, but I will kind of reaffirm this because this is such a crazy idea. I am not changing a thing. So, in other words, what I'm saying is the consequences are the consequences. So I'm not going to change something to help the party, nor am I going to change something to screw the party over. This will be the logical reaction of what I set up. And I never say that, but this is such a crazy idea that it should be put out there.
No,
So,
gotcha. Also, to answer your question, Vern, no, I said to the GM, this is what my character does as an action. Not, I'm saying this aloud. I'm trying to disbelieve them.
I know, but are you going to say that as Pearson or no?
Well, no, Pearson's ramblings are more like, not ramblings, because this isn't called fucking Cthulhu, but his position is that we're being manipulated by Cellar. What better place for Cellar to be than to be the king or to work in the king's throne room? All the coincidences are adding up, and the only way we're going to call him out is to disrupt his shit. We can't trust each other. We can't trust them. We can't trust anything in this fucking city. It does sound like paranoid rambling, 100%.
And
but-
this is the paranoid separation that the demons would want.
Yeah, and I'm playing out my critical one, is all, right? I just gotta play it out. Where his initial paranoia is now just becoming aggressive.
I will admit I didn't consider something so drastic until I heard from Pearson and until Squee gave what we said. And that's when I said, all right, that's it. I saw enough. It's enough. It's a snatch of something. It could be a guard. It could be an
Christ.
advisor. It could be a lead cleric. I'm going after the king. My
Okay,
face.
do it.
Oh
No,
my god,
but-
if this
No,
is
I'm
wrong.
making it clear. You have Inferno Canucks consent to do this.
You have Grimace consent.
Would you look at that? All these advisors, they have names.
Oh, man.
Families, children.
I'm not. No, I was saying because our rule is you can only be killed by named characters.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Viking.
I'm not gonna torture you guys more. Now that everyone is back, it is important though that you tell me exactly what's going to happen.
All right. Drolin would be the best suited about this, even though King did the presentation, since Drolin knows the most about dwarven diplomacy to basically work our ways back to the front of the king. And, seeing as how he believed us as the champions of Lady Selene, and we were pretty good there, and the king did just come down a bit earlier, and there's no guards immediately in front. Drolin will begin fishing in his pockets, and he'll say, okay, I gotta calm down. Drolin will say, now, you had mentioned earlier, my king, about difficulties with communicating with Lady Selene. Before we left, there is a way, at least to ensure a better form of communication that she sent and trusted with me so that I might give it to you, if I may. And Drolin will, rise up to the stairs while he's fishing around in his plate mail.
The king will regard you and then say, Dwalin, you have served me faithfully for many years. It is most unusual, but these are most unusual times.
Yeah. Drolin was banking on the royal fucking bodyguard background.
Reputation of 2.
Reputation of 2 there. Positive. Oh my god. Okay. Drolin will walk up there. Drolin the Fire Axe Calvador, who has served the king for over a century. He's going to walk up to the king, and then very quickly, with his trained reflexes, is going to heft the massive great axe that he keeps strapped to his back and bring it down on the king's head.
Oh,
Roll me to hit.
All right. I'll
See
go
if
ahead
you
and
roll a
roll it.
1!
If
you roll a
but
20.
it'd be great story purpose reasons for why my character failed so bad.
Oh,
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know if that can count as a critical hit because I'm lining up a coup de grace or what.
Yes.
But
It absolutely does.
all right. In that case, with tears running down from his eyes in just a painful broken moan, Drolin will quickly lift up the fire axe that is his namesake that the orcs and the high elves curse him with, and he'll bring it down on the king.
The axe from Dwalin, the bodyguard of the king for many years, slices into the king's head, and with such force, literally saws through his body, and the king's body falls down in 2 halves. A look of pain and surprise on each half of the face, as the king falls for the last time to the floor in a pool of his own blood. Cries of shock and terror call out from all around you, and the guards, the many, many guards in the room, form up around you with their weapons at the ready. And right before they charge you, you hear a stop, and to the side there is one advisor, a grizzled old dwarf, who looks in shock at Dwalin and says, Dwalin, I've known you for many years. Why?
Trellin doesn't actually have an answer. He's busy, like, looking at, like, the body of the king. Perhaps in some, like, sick part of, like, his mind, he's thinking, wow, I thought the king was tougher than that.
Oh my god! You critical hit! Okay,
Don't you see? It's all fake. This isn't real.
is this out
Oh
of
my
character? In
No,
character?
this is in character.
Okay. The advisor will look from Shock to Pearson back to the body of the king and say, "That looks real to me." And the advisor stares at you all and shakes his head and he says, "Madness. Simply madness. Arrest them. Take them to the dungeon. Lock them away. I must make sense of this." And with that, the dwarven guards start approaching you with their weapons at the ready. Not raised to strike, but at the ready. What are you guys doing?
Okay. Out of character here.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of the other players, if we botch this, the only way this world is saved is if the stone bearers escape.
Agreed.
It's
But-
like being thrown in prison and execution. That's not an option for the stone bearers, because if you die, this world ends.
Oh my god. I don't know if we can actually kill the king yet, or if this is still part of the ruse. Oh shit. But you're right. We can't be kidnapped.
Like, if this is still part of the ruse, us getting taken and stripped of our weapons and armors leads to loss.
Yeah. Agreed. Very
What
much.
do you others think? Like, we came this far. I don't think we can make a decision unless we are all behind this now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know.
We can't, yeah, no, you're right. We need, if we want the world to win, we need to.
It's like if you want to follow these characters and continue trying to save like this demon world here, like so that the demon invasion doesn't succeed, you as the stone bearers have to get away. Because both of the stones are here with Cole. Jarek would have to somehow get one of those. This world is doomed.
Yep.
Is there the stone thing that Cole can move nearby?
Does he feel bedrock beneath his feet?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hang on a second. You're in a dwarven castle.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to say yes, you definitely feel bedrock beneath your feet. However, before you do something, if you will allow me, as the guards do approach you, in that split second where everyone is getting the fight or flight response, or instinct, the guards, there is suddenly a gasp, and the guards stop, and they stare at what was the king's body, which has now changed into a white clay golem. Split
Jesus
in two halves
Christ.
on the
I was
floor.
about to say,
Nice.
bodies don't act like that. Oh, thank you, Squee. All right, you are so merciful. All right.
I'm not merciful at all. You guys just
That case, Droll will see that first. Because he stared at the body the entire time as the guards were approaching, and the tears continue to flow.
I am not merciful at all. You guys are like I said, I promised you at the start, I'm not changing anything. So
Okay.
the advisor who at first was going to arrest you says again, just wide-eyed, and looks at you all and what madness is this?
That is the banker
and we are Sylvester. Pearson says, "Makes no sense."
He looks at Pearson
Finn will cover Pearson's mouth.
completely confused.
She'll whisper under her breath really quickly, like, Pearson, calm the fuck down.
Okay. You know what? Now that he's justified, Pearson will calm the fuck down a little bit.
Drolin will like dip the fire axe in the clay and like hold it out as if it's a silver powder and spin around to the advisor and to the guards. Where is my king that I served loyally for decades? Because he does not rule here now.
There is absolute stunned silence. And after it goes on for an uncomfortably long time, the advisor shakes his head and he says, I do not know what is going on now. All I know is that a friend that I have known for years walked in and swung an axe on what I thought was my sovereign that I had served my entire life. I do not know what that is, or what bewitched me. I do not know if you are to blame, or you are our saviors. So I will offer you this once. As my friend, and as a loyal bodyguard, you and your party are to remain here in the castle until we decide, until we find out what has happened. You may aid in your investigation to prove your own innocence, but you will be accompanied at all times. It is that, or the dungeon.
It's very clear what just happened. Pearson says over.
Squeeze me, come again?
Out of
Finn will
character.
move her hand.
Out of character, what do you players think? It's possible that this advisor himself might also be a clay golem trying to rapidly cover for the situation, or that he is real. I am willing to drop the axe and see what happens next.
What I find suspicious is that he's looking for evidence when clearly this isn't the king. What we did was justified,
Right.
100%.
I would say try to imagine that in a real situation of how he never noticed a difference and is now trying to rapidly consider how long that change has existed without him noticing. Like, we're having trouble processing, he's having trouble processing.
Yeah, and he doesn't want. Yeah, he doesn't know what to figure out of it. That's fair enough, but I don't like this whole we have to keep a complete eye on you, right? Like, if we wanted to attack them, we would have done so already, right? We already killed a quote-unquote king.
I don't think you can logic the way with these NPCs out of this emotional situation. It's either we fight them, go to the dungeon, we escape, or we fucking kill that advisor.
It would also be fair as a GM to, because we live in a real world and this is not, that your players would also have a slightly different mindset of, in this world, there is fantastical magical things. And that adds to what the hell just happened.
Yeah. True. Anyways, I'm just okay. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. As a player, I'll just make a call as a player because I can just rationalize Pearson's behavior, I guess. Yeah, I say we go along with it for a little while longer, but also as a player, I'm saying this whole let's wait a little bit more time, that itself sounds super suspicious too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know, but at some point the suspicion has to stop, right?
I agree. At some point this suspicion does have to stop, which is something I'm wrestling with my character, right? The very fact that he's right is not helping the situation, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
This is reinforcing his suspicious behavior as rational. Yeah. But as a player, I say let's avoid a little bit of violence, or at least play it out for a little while longer. We always have a chance to break out if we really think things are hanky.
Okay.
Yeah. As a player, my number one thing in my mind is, he did he did tell us that there was an investigation and nothing was at the volcano. I have a suspicion that there is something.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. That's my 2 cents.
Burn?
I don't fucking know.
Now, here's where I'm insidious and pull the Inferno type thing and tell you, in the process in which we're kept here, for however long it takes for this investigation to be cleared, even if we're exonerated, we don't know how long it'll take for Mount Siren to erupt.
I know. Time
Which
is
I
of
didn't
the
even
essence.
I didn't even fucking consider that until Piff mentioned it, and then I went, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on a time limit.
We are in a severe time limit.
Okay.
We could try-
Here's a. Go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
I was gonna say. Well, maybe not. That's a lot of guards. I was gonna say we could try threatening them and seeing what happens.
No. No. How about
That's
this?
probably not a good idea.
We give them another option. We say, listen, your guards can stay with us, but we go outside the palace. All of us are going to march over to Mount Sinai right now and figure out what the fuck is going on. You can keep your eyes on us the entire time. We just recently arrived at the town. It can't possibly be a trap.
I don't think there is any way. Again, we can attempt to logic ourselves out of this. As far as they're concerned, we've pulled some illusion bullshit.
Yeah. I just want to know where the fuck Fergal is.
He's somewhere.
Exactly.
Alright.
We need to find him.
Well,
He
perhaps
was
we'll
removed
find
from
him.
this equation for a reason.
Yes. Because in that case, our best chance to find him and perhaps get some more answers is if we play along here and stay in the palace, which is what we're willing to do.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I continue. I continue with. Let's wait and find out for a moment.
Yeah.
All right. So, the advisor, seeing that you guys are not making threatening movements, says... he actually turns to the guards, who obviously don't know what to think. And some of them look like they're about ready to charge you anyway, because they're sovereign. He says in a very stern voice, "They are guests of this palace. They are allowed to keep their weapons." I said they're allowed to keep their weapons. I do not know what's going on, but I am still an advisor, and you will listen to me. And then he will turn to you. I swear to you, if this is some trick, if you have murdered my sovereign, your heads will adorn the city walls. If it is not you, then get me another head to put there.
Pearson will just say, it is a trick, but not by us. By greater forces than we can imagine.
He looks for a long time, and then looks at what was his king's body, and then he says, "None of this makes any sense."
Pearson say, well then talk with us, and we'll try to make as much sense for you as you... We'll try to help you as much as you... We'll try to talk you through what we've experienced so far.
He actually looks up at you with stern eyes and then says, "Fine, right here, right now. Bring us a table and chairs. We will talk." And they do just that. They bring a table and chairs right there into the throne room where what was the body of the king is, with a bunch of confused and angry guards who seem to keep looking at Cole, that orc. And a table is set up, and you the advisor sits down and he says, "Then make this make sense."
Okay.
From my understanding, from the stories that I heard, particularly as they were explaining it too,
And Drawn actually just looks back at the throne.
the the champions of Lady Selene fought these clay creatures on Windfall Isle. They were in service of the demons, and they had amazing shape-shifting properties to allow them to form into all manners of creatures. When they reached the lieutenant they thought was overseeing the operations on Windfall Isle, they found that he, too, a supposedly powerful alchemist and engineer, was also one of those. I don't know exactly how, nor do I know what has happened to, but the invaders have many powers at their disposal, and they are very good at doing this after so many worlds. I would not have killed my king had I not thought that he was not him. I wouldn't have.
The advisor listens to your words, and his face softens for a moment. And I've mentioned this several times, but you know this guy. You've known each other for years. You're not like the best of friends, but you respect each other immensely. I don't have him a name yet because I'm horrible at dwarf names, but his face will soften a bit at your tears, and then he will shake his head, and he will look stern again, and he will say, "If what you say is true, then these golems turn back to whatever they were."
Yes.
He puts a dagger from his belt, and he slices it across his palm, and then puts it on the table in front of the party, and lets his hand drip blood. And he says, "If what you say is true, if anyone else here is one, this blood cannot last."
Drolin had considered asking the other players about that situation with the league, but that's actually Drolin's actually willing to go with that.
Yeah,
That's the best
out
thing.
of
We have to
character?
prove it to him.
Yeah, out of character, that's how it works, right, Squay?
Out of
In our
character,
experience,
you have never, let me put it this way, you have never seen a piece of the golem come off and not turn into a golem. Most of the time they revert after they're dead because you've been killing them really quickly, but yes, you've never seen like an arm fly off and stay an arm or something.
There we go.
What
that's
about
worth
blood?
noting.
We have actually seen them bleed.
You've
but
seen
I
them
don't
bleed.
think
We've seen them bleed, but
But none of the blood remains after their death.
after they're dead.
You never actually ran tests on them to
Yeah,
to
I know.
see.
That-
Yeah.
The blood itself could be just a part of the clay illusion, right? If you separate the blood from the body itself, it probably would have turned into clay.
Probably.
That's what the advisor is thinking anyway.
Well, we
Hey,
can always
wha-
check with what the king did, because I'm quite sure there was blood if that happened.
There
was.
is no blood there at all. Even though blood splattered when Drolin axed him.
Yeah.
All the blood that splattered turned into clay and fell or stayed where it was.
The
Besides-
important thing that I'm asking, that I'm wondering, we don't know, is if that golem is still alive, quote unquote. Would that be, the blood is on the table and it stays on the table, or would it turn back to clay? But we don't know. We don't
never
know.
bothered to observe long
Yeah.
enough.
I'm just stating for the record. That's what
okay.
my mind was going.
Drolin is
Well, we
perfectly
don't-
willing to pull out his dagger and cut his hand, and
Yeah.
look at it and pour it on the table.
Keen will do the same.
He will actually. The advisor will shake his head and say, "Use a weapon that is not your own."
Okay.
It's actually reasonable. Drolin will pick up the advisor's dagger and do the same thing.
All right.
Pass it around.
Oh,
All
No,
right.
Pearson will stand up and he'll go, "No, I'll go one better. Who knows? For proper trust, we have to use different weapons. You, over there, the one who keeps staring at my friend Cole, give me your short sword or your blade. Whatever you prefer."
He looks at you and stammers, I only have a hammer." And then another one says, "I'll do it." And he reaches over and hands Pearson a short sword.
"Thank you," he says. The best thing is that we don't have to worry if the advisor's a golem. We just have to prove to him that we're not golems, and then he'll let us fucking go. So, Yep. Pearson will. You know what? He's not going to cut his palm. That's a sensitive fucking area, right? And he needs to make a fist. So he will instead cut the where he gets cut all the time, on the top of his arms or along his stomach or something like that. We'll say on the top of his forearm maybe. He'll cut that and let that bleed on the table, let it drip for as long as he wants it to.
Mm-hmm.
Leave the blood upon the table.
Yes,
No.
because he wanted to. All right.
Um,
All right, is
Finn-
there? We'll put this. Yeah, okay, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say Finn will take a note if we're just passing around the blade that she'll like clean it excessively before she cuts herself.
Oh,
You now all have dwarf aids. Oh.
Yay.
Joke's on you, I already had dwarf age.
It is fair to note that none of you feel like the blade wasn't poisoned. You don't feel any ill effects or anything like that. You all bleed. Your blood and the advisor's blood stays. And at a glance from the advisor, every dwarf in the room follows suit. Even the ones that are wearing full body armor will take off part of their armor. And you have, I can't believe this is happening. You have an entire throne room of bleeding dwarves and people.
That's beautiful.
So I hope they have a surplus of band-aids.
Jesus fucking Christ.
We now
We're
are in a blood
session.
pact.
After a sufficient time has passed, the advisor nods and he says, I do not still fully understand what is going on, but you have made an impression. My offer still remains the same. You will help us find out what is going on here. You will remain as guests in this city. You will sleep here at the palace, or, if you choose to sleep elsewhere, there will be guards sent with you. Understand this from my perspective. If you are truly assassins, I would be the most disgraceful dwarf to ever live to let you slip through my fingers. If you are not, I would be the most disgraced dwarf ever to live to end your lives. I am on a razor's edge.
Do you really? Pearson will just point over to that gray white blob and he'll be like, was your not king born of flesh and blood? How can this be him? How could we have been assassins of this? I understand your caution. It's something I would do as well. But we're allies. We're not enemies. Send your guards with us. We'll make sure they'll have plenty of work, because we're going to find this. Whoever did this, we're going to stop this.
He will nod, and then he will say, I have known weapons to make a person disappear completely, turn into ice, melt into nothingness. Who is to say that there is not a way to turn a dwarf into clay?
I suppose. Elaborate, I suppose.
He nods. I agree. It is unbelievable.
Then
What?
shall you be testing mine?
Shall you be testing and then bring up Ardana and put it on the table without burying the head into it?
Shall you be testing the fire axe?
He holds up a hand and he says, I do not fancy touching that axe, especially if it is the real one. As I said, I am on a razor's edge. If I choose wrong here, I lose the support of Lady Celine's champions and perhaps my only hope for getting through this crisis. I will not let you go free, but I am also not going to try your trust so badly. And then he pauses, he says, diplomacy and cooler minds must prevail here.
Then, before we leave and begin about this process of review, do you, had your advisors, you had any idea how long it will be before the volcano erupts?
He looks at you and he says, "None of us alive have ever seen it erupt. But I can tell you that in 2 weeks' time, it has nearly doubled in intensity."
Then let us hope the answers are found before it is too late.
He nods. And then he stands up to go. And then he says, as he leaves, he says, "If," and this is not really to you guys, "if these people are found dead, I will hold each of you responsible." And with that, he leaves. And he was talking to the guards that still are looking, like they're not sure if they want to leave a hammer in your brains or not.
That's right. You come at me, I'm champion tier. I know what a bodyguard is like.
Yeah, come on, bitch.
So Pearson, what did you do today?
Yeah.
Oh no, nothing. We just killed a king. Yeah, it's fine. We were supposed to be his ally.
We killed a clay king.
Oh my
Dear
God.
Queen Alana.
I would
The
say
king
I would
Queen
love
Alana.
explanation in the journal.
We done fucked up, yo.
No, we did great, guys. I guess we're gonna end the session so
We
then
did
we can
great.
fucking bond spiel.
Yes, I know it's really late. I did have one more thing that I thought would be best to do before next session, but it is late. We could end here and start next session, but I do want to give you
What?
guys the week to kind of determine what
I
to
really
do.
do think it'd be
What is it?
best if we actually have something to keep going.
Okay.
At least a little bit more so that we have.
All right, yeah, let's just do it then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, what is your plans? The idea right now, that are in the guards' minds, is that you are going to be guests at the palace. Everyone, basically, it's like everything is going crazy. Everyone's going to go to bed in the morning. We are going to hunt. Obviously, you guys might have different opinions, but this is what the guards seem to be under the impression of. It's crazy. Let's all take a sleep. We're going to start in the morning and figure this out.
Yeah.
Is this something that you guys disagree with?
I think.
Oh, I wholeheartedly fucking agree with
Yeah,
this.
We're sleeping together, by the way, all five of us.
I was,
Yeah, 100%. we
yeah,
are.
oh yeah. No, I was gonna say we can't leave each other.
No.
All right.
Rephrase that, good sir.
Okay, fine. We're all gonna sleep in the same bed and fuck. Okay? Is that gonna work?
Okay.
We're all gonna sleep together. Cole, can you be Big Spoon? I'll be Little Spoon. Then it'll be the dwarf. Then it'll be Keen, then the dwarf, then Finn. We'll all just be in a little spoony pile.
I love it.
To speed things on a little bit, I am going to, unless there is something you guys desperately want to discuss or talk, because you absolutely can. What I have has to speed along a little bit, but I certainly do not want to rush you guys if you need to do something.
No, I have nothing.
Okay.
I can wait until after the session.
Yeah, I'm
All
good.
right. So when you sleep, Pearson,
Yeah.
you're all sleeping together, but sometime during the night, you hear Pearson,
Uh-oh.
and you wake up. Your friends are not only asleep, but they appear motionless.
Uh-huh.
And you look over to the sound of the voice, and in the window is the shadow of a wide-brimmed hat.
Hello, Sailor.
Hello, Pearson.
Bet you're pretty smart, I reckon.
Yes, quite the crazy display. Believe it or not, I'm not that surprised with your group. Though, do not think you have outsmarted me yet. How's the family? How's Sky?
Sky is far, far away from my family. I made sure. I had a feeling you weren't truly vanquished. And little men like you don't part with their toys very well.
He will laugh and say, "Oh, Pearson, you're such a good liar. I can feel where she is. I know she's close. And I know that there is nothing you can do to stop it.
No. You're full of shit. You would have done it already. You're just trying to unwind me. You're just trying to make me afraid. I'm not going to be afraid anymore.
He will not. He will, oh, no, no, no. We played a game once, and I lost. And it was embarrassing. I am not here to unwind you, Pearson. I'm here to break your mind. So we're going to play a new game. Catch me if you can. And then the shadow will leave the window.
Uh-huh.
And you basically you sit up again as if oh my god, what? And the room is the way it was when you went to sleep. Everyone's still snoring. The fires are lit. There is no one by the window.
Okay. All right, so it was a quote-unquote dream.
It
Catch
is,
him if he...
It is open to your interpretation, but it absolutely did not feel like a dream.
Yeah, no. It was a vision or whatever. Pearson's going to get up and go to the window and look out of it and see if he can't see anything.
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, boy. All right. Perception. So level, my intelligence, and half my born on the street. 23.
You see what from the corner of your eye. It's hard to tell, but from the cones where you have better night vision, you think you see a shadow dancing on the rooftops down into the city.
I'm not going alone. That's insane. I'm waking everyone up saying we need to go right now.
What's going on here?
Oh, no.
And with that, I think it might be a good idea. Unless you guys don't want to end the session here, so you have the week to kind of, okay, I know Pierce is waking us up, and next session we can start right there. Is that acceptable for everyone?
Sure.
Yeah, let's start here.
Yeah.
All right. All right, then. Session. Whee!
Yay!